Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video, I've got some great emulation news for you. We're talking about Nintendo Switch Emulation on PC and on Android, as well as Sega Saturn Emulation. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about Nintendo Switch Emulation on PC with Yuzu. Yuzu's got a few new updates in the mainline version that you might be excited about. So at the time of filming, I'm running the latest and greatest mainline version of Yuzu, which is version 1136. If you've got this version of Yuzu, click on the emulation menu, then click on configure, and it should bring up this menu. And then once you are here, click on audio, and you'll notice that the volume can now go up to 200%. On top of that, it looks like the developers are prepping for something pretty darn cool. With mainline 1136, they've added in the ability to proxy socket packets. Now that new feature is not yet enabled, but it will allow LAN play without needing external programs. On top of that, if you are running version 1136, you also get the small performance improvement that was introduced with 1134. Yuzu is free, it's open source, and I'll drop a link to their website in the description below. Feel free to check it out. Next up here, we're still talking about the Nintendo Switch, but this time on Android with Skyline. Skyline's got a brand new update. To check it out, head to skyline-emu.1 and then click on the download page. Once you're here, you'll see the brand new update, version 13.10. And 13.9 was also released today, so the development team has been pretty darn busy. Now this update looks to offer some stability improvements, and it appears that someone got Metroid Dread up and running at 60 frames a second. Someone was able to get all the way into Bowser's Kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey. And speaking about Super Mario Odyssey, I would say this one is actually pretty huge. Someone was able to get less demanding scenes of the game running at 60 frames a second. Although yes, there are still a ton of graphical issues, but still you can't really disagree with me. This is looking very promising. And emulation within emulation also appears to be doing okay. Someone got the last blade up and running at 60 frames a second. Last up here, we're talking about Sega Saturn Emulation with Yaba Sanshiro. And this is great news if you like to play your games on retro handhelds. There's a brand new front end that makes the whole navigation process, well, a heck of a lot easier. The developer obtained an Aya Neo Next, and if you want to check this one out, the download button is right on their website. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. It's Yaba Sanshiro HH1.9.2-2452F. 0.msi. As a bonus piece of news here, if you're into retro handhelds, the mythical KTR1 is now into production. It's priced at $149 for the base version. It uses a MediaTek G99 CPU, and there are a bunch of different options here in terms of RAM and storage. You can get 3 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, 6 and 128 or 8 and 256. To be honest with you, I don't really see a use of 8 gigs of RAM with this chipset, but if you wanted to go all out, it's only $239. Honestly, I think the sweet spot on this one is 4 gigs and 64 gigs of memory. At this point in time, I have no idea what the performance of it's going to be, and I don't know how the quality is going to be either. But I will tell you, based on this chipset, I don't really see Skyline working very well at all on it. And Aether SX2 might very well be hit and miss. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to perform as well. But as far as I know, it will be running Android 12, and you have your option between having the D-pad on the top or the D-pad on the bottom, depending on whether or not you want to prioritize the D-pad or the joystick. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about today in the comments below, whether it's Nintendo Switch Emulation with Yuzu or Skyline, Yaba Sanshiro, or even that new handheld. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos, don't tempt fate, save your state.